Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. On this I'm going to be discussing cricket and most things related to it. So this episode we're going to start looking at the Ashes and in particular what 11 England are likely to line up with in Perth. So the squad for the Ashes that England have selected is Stokes as captain, Brook the vice-captain, Ben Duckett, Zach Crawley, Ollie Pope, Joe Root, Jamie Smith, Matthew Potts, Mark Wood, Jofra Archer, Gus Atkinson, Brian Cass, Josh Tongue, Jacob Bethel, Will Jacks and Shadol Bashir. So few surprises there, only Will Jacks really raising any eyebrows. He's a pretty good player. I mean, I wouldn't have thought a test pick right now, but does have something with the bat. And they're in Australia, so if Bashir does get injured, four seamers is an option. They don't necessarily need Jacks to play as a backup spinner, and they may not play Bashir anyway because of four seamers. So I'm going to go run through who I think is going to play for England in that first test in Perth. So the top seven really just writes itself. You've got Duckett and Crawley, opened for Bazball since the tour of Pakistan in 2022 and have been brilliant ever since. I mean, Crawley's been a bit inconsistent, but he's got big runs occasionally. He's got big runs when they need him to, and he and Duckett make just a great impact at the top of the order. Ollie Pope at 3, another one like Crawley, fairly inconsistent, can be quite inconsistent, but gets big runs and at times often starts the series well, so you can get them off on the right foot. You've got Joe Root, 4. No one's arguing with that pick. Probably one of the most consistent batsmen in the world right now. Just an incredible batsman. England's leading run scorer in Test cricket. Then Harry Brook burst onto the scene in the winter of 2022, early 2023 with some marvellous run scoring feats, and while maybe not continued at the same pace, he has certainly been very, very good across all three formats ready for England, particularly now in really good form in T20 cricket and 50-over cricket. Stokes 6, does it all really. The captain, main man with the ball, took a side out the hole with the bat. Probably been pick of the bowlers this summer, and there's no one else I'd rather have leading the team against the Aussies because he just has that fire to take it to them, which we need. Jamie Smith, the keeper, fantastic batsman, can produce an incredible innings. I think it was 184 against India earlier this year in just an incredible rescue act. Very good glovesman as well, and while I'm slightly tired at the end of the India series, he's had a 5-test series now. He knows what that's like, so hopefully he can really build on that in Australia. The ball, slightly more interesting discussion. I think 4 seamers because it's in Perth, will bounce. Don't think they need a spinner. Excuse me. But they might. But I think 4 seamers is the way to go. So I think Mark Wood has to play, lightning quick bowler, England's best bowler last time round in the Ashes down under. Takes wickets really a lot, really fast, pretty decent at corner rate too. He's also offers decent with the bat, can hit a long ball, and is not afraid to bang it in with the ball when needed. Then Jofra Archer, obviously, only just come back to Test cricket this year after a very long injury layoff, but has already proven that he's got it what it takes. And he was brilliant the first Ashes he played, the only Ashes he's played to date. But I think he is going to be so key because it's going to be hard, bouncy tracks down under. He's got the pace to make use of them, but he's also got the skills to swing it and seam it, and that's what England need. So he'll definitely take the new ball. And then I'd say Gus Atkinson has to play as well. Quick bowler, can seam it both ways. Bit of swing. He can take the new ball with Archer. And I think just really tie down Australia at top of the order. Then my fourth seamer would be Matt Potts. I know Brian Carson and Josh Tongue are both in the squad, but they're also 90-mile-an-hour quicks, like Wood, Archer and Atkinson. And like Wood and Archer have injury records, Atkinson's going back on injury layoff. You need two of your quicks rested, and you need someone without a spinner, someone who can bowl long spells, because Stokes will give himself a long spell, and it needs to be made sure that he doesn't bowl himself too much, because otherwise he'll go down with injury like the third test or something and he'll have problems. Potts can bowl a decent length spell, just nice and accurate, and I think he can swing the ball as well, so if the ball's snipping around, he's the guy to go to. But yeah, should be exciting. So my 11 for the first test would be open with Crawley, Duckett, Pope, Root, Brooke, Stokes, Smith, Atkinson, Archer, Wood, Potts. So yeah, obviously Stokes captain, Brooke vice captain, Smith wicketkeeper. Obviously there is something to be said for the spinner playing, but I think down under in the role that Bashir plays, he's quite an attacking spinner, and so playing in Australia where they're quite happy to get after him and it doesn't take spin well, it's going to be problematic. I think Sydney will turn a bit, Adelaide probably will turn. Definitely pick him there because you need the spinner and you can rest the seamer. But in Perth and Brisbane, the first two tests, it's going to bounce a lot. Excuse me. You don't need a spinner. Four seamers, Atkinson, Archer, new ball, Wood, Potts first change, and then if Stokes is needed, you can bring him on. And then if you really need a spinner, Joe Root can do the role fine. And finally, just some fun facts. Bashir is the youngest Englishman to 50 wickets in Test cricket. And Root is now only 2,372 runs off Tendulkar to become the leading run scorer in Test cricket in history. But he's already England's leading run scorer with 13,543 Test runs. So yeah, Root's hopefully going to get some more runs. Hopefully break his duck of hundreds in Australia. Hopefully he can get a couple at least, because we'll need him runs at the back end of the series when Crawley and Pope have had their big innings. And Gus Atkinson, so far, second best career striker of any bowler in Test cricket, with just taking a wicket every 35.8 balls. Was helped obviously by his insane debut, where he bowled 26 overs, 7 maidens, 106 runs and 12 wickets, including 7 wickets in his first innings. It was ridiculous. He also ended James Anderson's final test by taking the last wicket, which was quite a way to start. But yeah, 7 for and 5 for on debut, first test. He would score his maiden 100 the following year, so he can also bat quite well. So I think England shaping up to have a good first test. I think Australia will be pretty good, but we will see how it goes. And join me next time, where I will be discussing what 11 Australia could line up with. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.